Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. I'm going to give you an overview as best I can in regards to this case, in regards to this article. There is a link in the description if you'd rather go through that yourself. I'm going to say that this article is not giving us the full picture. There's a few question marks that remain. I presume those details that we're missing haven't been released by the investigators at this point in time. I think it's fair and accurate to describe this case as being active, and I would not be surprised if there are further developments shortly. It's a tragedy. It's in regards to the 2-year-old girl that you see on the right here. Her name is, or rather, was Juelz Gonzalez. Juelz Gonzalez. And she died 4 months ago. She was fatally shot in the head. Now, the mother that you see on the left here, her name is Jessica Cantu, 35 years of age. She initially told investigators, or she has told investigators, that young Juelz Gonzalez must have shot herself in the head. You know, it was an accident from a child. She shouldn't have had access to a gun, but she did, and she shot herself in the head, according to the mother. Now, investigators don't believe that to be the case. Investigators have determined through their science, through their ballistic evidence and such, that the toddler Juelz Gonzalez, 2 years old, was not shot from close proximity. There was a distance. We don't know how much of a distance, but there was a distance. She was not shot at point blank range, which by definitions means that she did not shoot herself. This is what the science tells us. This is what the facts tells us. If we're to have faith in the investigators and the science that they apply, which frankly we do. They've perfected pretty much this science. So that being the case, investigators have arrested Jessica Cantu, 35 years of age. She's being charged with endangering a child. So she's not being charged with murder. She's not being accused of having shot her own daughter. She's been charged with endangering a child. She's in jail. She's on a $150,000 bond. Arguably not enough. But as I say, there's more to the story. And more to the story, or the further details are that young Juelz was in a bedroom at their family home in San Antonio, Texas, when this occurred 4 months ago. Young Juelz, 2 years of age, was in her own bedroom, if I understand correctly, and she was watching a movie on her own, on her cell phone. The mother was in a different room with her 4-year-old daughter. And then there was a gunshot. And the only other adult, other than the mother, that was in the home at the time was the mother's boyfriend. And there's a lot of question marks about the mother's boyfriend. His name, Joshua Ramirez, 32 years of age. As soon as the gunshot happened, which, again, fatally struck 2-year-old Juelz Gonzalez in the head, as soon as the gunshot happened, the boyfriend, Joshua Ramirez, fled the scene. He was arrested in March. So this happened in February. He was arrested in March. Now, as I say, there's a few missing pieces. He's been charged, the boyfriend's been charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. But that's all he's been charged with at this point in time. So police have said more charges are possible, but they would come from the DA's office. Well, hurry up, guys. You have a 2-year-old girl who was shot in the head, proven to not have done that herself. You have 2 adults at the premises at the time. One seemingly was in the room, and that's the boyfriend, and fled the scene immediately. Why isn't he being arrested with murder? I don't get it. I mean, what are you doing, police? What are you doing, district's attorney? You've proven that the girl did not shoot herself. You've arrested this guy in March. He fled the scene. According to the mother was in a different room at the time. Where, I have faith in your ballistic science. So how come you can't prove that this guy pulled the trigger? What's going on? So further parts of the to the puzzle is that the scumbag mother, I'm going to call her a scumbag, purchased the gun that is responsible, that was used in shooting her own daughter. She purchased the gun. She purchased it for her boyfriend, who's a felon. The boyfriend is a felon, and with that, he's not allowed to buy firearms. So what did the scumbag mother do? Oh, no worries, boyfriend. No worries, baby. I'll buy you a gun. That's what she did. She didn't look out for her 2-year-old daughter. She bought her felon boyfriend a gun, a firearm. Why? Well, because the boyfriend was going to be selling drugs. He was planning on selling drugs. Obviously, he needed a firearm to protect himself in the course of selling drugs. So that's why the scumbag mother bought the felon a gun. I'm going to go on a rant in a moment, but just before I do, I'm just going to wrap up a couple of details. So if I mentioned, hopefully I did, this happened in San Antonio, Texas. Unfortunately, Juelz Gonzalez lost her life 9 days after being shot in the head. She died February the 18th. So the shooting would have happened February the 9th. That's pretty much all of the details that we have at this point in time. And I said that I just feel that we're not being given the full picture here, really, mostly in regards to the boyfriend, Joshua Ramirez, 32 years of age. Why the fuck has he not been charged with murder? I don't understand. Again, I'm repeating myself to an extent, but I have faith in the investigators and the CSI or whoever it is in the back rooms, in the labs, that are able to do whatever they do, apply whatever science they apply, which I feel that they've honed and somewhat perfected their science over the last several decades. Yeah, I mean, this isn't... They've been doing this for a long time, and they improve. They have new experts. They have new additional technology that come in to help them. They figured things out. These investigators know what the fuck they're doing. Yet, they are not confident with the evidence that they have in order to be able to charge this scumbag felon boyfriend, Joshua Ramirez. Why not? Why haven't they got evidence to, from the gun, with fingerprints or whatever it is? I don't know. I'm disappointed and I'm concerned with that. I really hope that that does change. There needs to be a murder charge, and it has to be either or both the boyfriend or the mother. So, look, that's one part of my rant. Come on, DA, sort it out. Put a proper charge on this boyfriend. So he's currently charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm, but that's trivial compared to what he ought to be charged with. Moving on from that, I'm going to go on to another rant, which I've done several times in these kind of videos. I'm going to blame the mother. This is a very good example. It's an incredibly sad example, but a very good example to illustrate the point that I've been making in a lot of my videos similar to these kind of situations. We have to blame the mother. We have to. Okay, yes, I understand. The mother is distraught. She's lost her 2-year-old child. Her family's been wrecked. I get that. But we cannot ignore the facts. Okay? Here are the facts. Here are some of the facts. The mother chose to enter a relationship with this scumbag felon. Okay? Big deal. That is a very big deal. We can't overlook that. Don't do that, women. Don't do that. And again, just to be sure, this isn't all about women doing this. Men can do this too. Men can enter and maintain relationships with evil women. That's quite possible. That does happen. But overwhelmingly so, we're seeing more and more women that have relationships with known criminals, known scumbags, those that have displayed violent behavior. And they do it, and in so doing, they put the lives of themselves and their children on the line. She should not have done this. She should not have entered a relationship with a felon. She shouldn't have. She did. Further to that, allegedly, she bought the felon a firearm. Why? Because the guy wanted to be a drug dealer. Yeah, so she did her part in assisting the felon boyfriend to become a drug dealer and have possession of a firearm. Why the fuck would you do that? I mean, seriously, what is the motivation there? Money's got to be a big part of it. It's got to be a desire to have security. But how low IQ do you have to be to feel that your partner being a drug dealer felon is going to provide you with security? It's not. It's just going to put you in a position of danger. And that's exactly what happened. So I have no doubt that this woman is also a career criminal. I don't know that. That's my guess. Even if she's not been convicted of such, yeah, she's involved. I mean, she literally was funding her boyfriend's venture to be a drug dealer, according to this article. I've gone on a rant, but, in essence, to keep the rant fairly short, we can't allow these women, these mothers, rather, I should say mothers, we can't allow these mothers to enter relationships with known scumbags, felons, drug dealers, those with a violent past, those with career criminal records. We cannot allow it. Okay, so what does that mean? That means we've got to shame them. We've got to tell them that it's not acceptable. We've got to shun them. Yeah? So if you have a family member, perhaps your daughter, perhaps your sister, perhaps your auntie, yeah? And if you're a law-abiding citizen, if you're a decent person, a normal human that, doesn't try to cause harm to others and try to protect the vulnerable, i.e. children, and you have a family member who enters a relationship with a known scumbag, shun that person. Hey, auntie, I love you, but you're a fucking moron. I love you, but you're putting your own life in your life of your own children in danger. Fuck you, bitch. Yeah, I don't want nothing to do with you no more. Not until you turn things around. Not until you fucking wise up and get out of such a relationship. Yeah? Not until you don't involve yourself in criminality yourself. Not until you do what the fuck you want, but you give your children away to those that will care for your children, be that the state or others. But turning a blind eye to mothers that do this kind of thing, that enter relationships, maintain relationships with those that are violent, those with a criminal nature, that's enabling. So we've got to stop enabling. We've got to start shaming. We've got to start shaming. We've got to start shunning people that do this. I'm presuming she's not guilty in the sense that she did not shoot her own 2-year-old child, Juelz Gonzalez. I'm presuming she's innocent. I'm presuming that the boyfriend who fled the scene, who's a known felon, who was planning on being a drug dealer, I'm presuming he's the one that shot 2-year-old Juelz in the head. Maybe he did so accidentally, quite possible, but he did so. I can't remember what my point is there, but it is. I don't know. I'll just wrap things up here. I've made enough points. I'll wrap things up here, guys. If you do like this type of content, please do like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.